Committee of January the 7th, 2015, and Happy New Year to everybody. A roll call, please, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, we have present today Marilyn Jordan, Joan Fontes, Tom Warden, Dominic Camarado, Jeffrey Langan, Bonnie Jean Catelli, and welcoming Ellis Bailey.
And I do welcome Mr. Ellis Bailey as our newest member of the FinCom. Do I have any citizens' participation at this time? Seeing none. Town Administrator. Please pass everybody out to this November FY14 and FY15.
Yeah, we're looking to get back on track with the monthlies. As you know, in November and December, we're concentrating on the audit and setting the tax rate. So while the work was still being done, creating the monthlies, the spreadsheets, because we do them manually, we're a little bit behind. So should be able to catch up soon on them. But if you look with November, really I wouldn't have too much information for anybody on these. We still have the expected percent expended year to date. Everybody's still well in line. We have some concerns in some of the departmental lines, such as the unemployment, but that seems to be cutting back. Where it was going at over 20,000 a month, it's back down into the 12,000 range as people are either finding work or their benefits have exhausted.
Are they 26 weeks, is that what they get?
I had the number because there still were some extensions, but it's no longer the what was it, 70 some odd weeks that you used to get. So most of them, again, we had one major month on there, and that was a back hit from the unemployment. As you know, we are not insured. We don't do unemployment insurance. It's not how municipalities work. We have to pay as you go on it. And we are assessed from the unemployment division. So even as we're keeping track of everything and sending the information, if they have people that they either haven't signed up or we're fighting to put on, we still get hit for those in the future. So I know there was a request to have the FY15 and the FY14 together. We also know that it's taken a few years to put this budget document together where it actually works, and we're trying not to make it below a font where it's, you need your spyglass to look at it. So you do have the two separate documents to compare for your own when you want to take the time to look at it. If you remember from the last one you've received, there was, in the revenues we do quarterly, so you should have within the next month the December revenues. We usually close those out by mid of the next month, so mid-January, maybe at the end of this month, we'd have the revenues.
Any questions?
Those revenues, they don't, those revenues are the November tax bills and any other monies that came in to the town?
You would have whatever's booked through December 31st.
Okay.
So as you know, you won't have a large portion of, you won't have a large portion of the motor vehicle. Whatever you do have in there's prior years that have been paid, and really, so that's where usually everybody has a little bit of a panic. They say, "My God, we're $1 million or $1.2 million off on the motor vehicle excise." Well, you don't book those till February or March on some of those. So,
Tom, go ahead.
Do we have fiscal year 14 budget versus actual?
yes.
Is it not? We don't have it here.
No, not in this. This was the 2 months together. I mean, you realistically have the. You have all the expenditures, you have the audit, you have the basic financials, you have all those items too. They're in your packets.
Wait, I just really wanna see how we did actual versus plan
Yeah.
last year, and where the good news came from.
The good news
Yeah,
for the free cash,
yes.
it's from undesignated fund balance.
I think that's a little deceiving, because I asked you that before. I get asked that all the time. You're looking at the actuals to what was, what was budgeted, and people are gonna see, you expect to see something sticking out, oh, they didn't spend this money, that's where it came from, and that's not where it came from. So I don't wanna mislead the public on that in any way, shape, or form. It's not that simple to just look back and say, oh, well, we didn't need it here, so we over budgeted on that one. It's not really what happened, but we will definitely look at those actuals at some point.
Yeah, usually what you'll get is you'll see, last year you had the Walmart coming in, we had the new hotel, so you're getting the expenses from the inspectional services, the fees that we receive. You also have the money coming in from the EMS. Remember, it's not a budgeted account. It's an offset receipt, so anything above that, what their budget at goes into the general fund, and you can't budget those revenues, those overages. The DOR will not let us. So you'll have items such as that. We had the auction of the properties that yielded a net of about $300,000 last year. So when most of the people think that, like you said, it's something, we didn't expend something or we're hiding something within a line, it's usually from the revenue side that you'll pick something up. And it's for revenues, and most of the time you cannot budget. If you remember, we had to do a mid-year cut, which we held back on several $100,000. But that's because, again, the DOR, even if you're receiving tax title revenues and you've brought those in, even if you can prove it, you're not allowed to budget. So.
Definitely. Anybody else questions on this particular topic? Okay. So we have a school committee number?
Yeah, and actually, the school committee's going to be the one announcing it tonight. I did receive it within time on the 5th. I would say it's their number to bring forth.
Okay.
So you'll most likely have it emailed or known tomorrow. I just don't think it's proper for me, the one to be the one announcing it before them.
Okay.
Although I don't see any press around here. I'm guessing they're the hot topic tonight, so.
Oh, so they're all over there?
There was an increase, so we'll be looking at a deficit situation again. We're going to have to do two things. The whole budget is due on the 25th. We should have some of the departments where we've been meeting. We'll continue to meet. I have their documents. We have some of the revenue numbers that we're projecting, but we'll have to set the all-day budget hearings in February as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if we'd like to try for the first or maybe second month of February, week of February.
Sorry, Madam Moderator.
So,
Madam Chairman.
no problem.
Madam Moderator's back there. Hi.
Do we want to try for a joint session all day with the Board of Selectmen and the FinCom together and do it at one? I don't remember what we did last year.
I think we held an all-day session, and the Board of Selectmen, I think they posted it, but they didn't know, just in case 3 members were available. I don't think they believed 3 members would. But if we're scheduling an all-day hearing, I would suggest to the Selectmen that they post as well. So,
Okay. I will kind of leave that for you, to decide what is the best convenience for your staff. Are we gonna do this on a weekend? Did we do this last time on a Saturday?
No, I think we've been
We did
doing
on
it.
Thursday, I think, or
Yeah.
something like that, okay. Is that good for most people, to do it during the week? I know a lot of you go to work, some people have to work if you can go like to the afternoon, and some people can go to the morning session.
Mhm. Thursday's okay for me.
Yeah, that's
Not to be
fine.
all there all day, as long as
Yeah.
we get,
Yeah.
know it ahead of time, so.
Okay.
And they have vittles for you too, so you won't pass out from
Oh,
hunger.
good. Oh,
I'll leave that for you to decide what's best for your staff.
Okay,
But I would say, yeah, we're gonna talk up somewhere in that first couple of weeks in February.
I'll send out 2 proposed dates, or you
Okay.
guys, will you have another meeting within the next several weeks?
I can, it depends on what's going on and what we need to talk about.
Okay.
We can't really do too much, until, you know, you get your preliminary numbers together, what
Right.
the wish list is. And then, I don't know if you wanna give that to us before we meet with the all-day session, or,
I think that'll be the goal, to get it to everybody.
Okay.
25th it's due, but we'll try and have the breakdown as well, because last year we changed the format where it actually, instead of just salary, we had it, we're showing the employees and the, you know, who's in each department. This year, what I'm trying to do for it, so everybody can see, is have the FY14 numbers still in there, and then create the FY15, then have the FY16 portion in there, and see if there's any increased staffing. You can
Okay.
compare where they were, so you can actually see where some of the budget changes are from year to year. We've had the smaller spreadsheets doing this. This will be fairly large, and will include all the departments. So it's going to be pretty expansive. And again, one of the big things is, instead of just having the salary number individually, is breaking it down by.
into positions,
Right.
yeah, I think that's
So-
important.
Mhm.
I think it's fair for the public to know what positions are on.
All right, so we're gonna look forward to that the first couple of weeks of February.
Are we looking out 5 years?
For the preliminary, I'd say, it would be, probably not, because the numbers change from the school department of what their 5-year figure has already been. Ours is going to change drastically too, because we have almost essentially 3 years worth of union negotiations wrapped up into 1 year. So,
Right, Donna?
along that line, would you still expect a deficit, or would you expect that to change?
no, I would expect a deficit,
You would?
absolutely.
So we still have an issue we're gonna have to deal with.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to cut, make some significant cuts from probably what we'd call the wish list to the operating.
Go ahead, Donna, you have a question?
Yes, where we're gonna be looking at a deficit again. Obviously, there's no signs of the town hall opening up 5 days again.
No, that wouldn't be,
Are you guys having many complaints with, I mean, people that work for the town, they have, you know, they do get sick, they do get days off. I mean, it's very difficult to get things done at town meeting, at town hall now, because of, nobody's there on Friday, and people have the days off now. I'm running into a brick wall in a couple of areas. And I wonder if other people are experiencing that, Derek. Are you guys hearing the frustrations from no one's complaining?
I'm hearing frustrations of lack of staffing. You know,
Well,
that's
that
whether we have
too.
5 days or 4 days. If you only have one clerk in an office and they're out, it doesn't matter how many.
So how are we gonna solve things like that? I mean, because you don't have the money, obviously, to hire them.
Right.
And it's obviously not the person in the office's fault if they're sick or if they're entitled to a day. But I'll tell you, if you have to do business in a couple of departments in this town, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. And it's costing people money. It really is. And I wonder if the public is aware. They're not experiencing it.
We haven't had the complaints. We've had a few people that are happy that they don't have to take time off from work, which costs them money to come in to do their town business.
You know, the later hours in the
Yeah.
evening, they're liking that. I can understand that. I mean, I haven't heard a lot of huff about it. Actually, I wouldn't be all upset if people did complain, but, I mean, this is what we have. This
Yeah.
is how much money we have, and this is what it's resulted in. So, I mean,
What we voted for.
that's what we voted for. I am a little disappointed with what happened with the online, well, online period, but the, applications and stuff online, like with the health department and stuff?
With the e-permitting for the,
Yeah, what happened with that, just, because it's a new software, we can't get it, the new software linked up online?
oh, we've got it fixed in the inspectional services, and now the person I've had working on that is moving over to the health department.
Oh, okay, so it's just the new software has to be linked up, about that?
No, I would say there was other issues that,
Okay, there's definitely still other issues with the email, by the way, because I got a really funny one today from,
did it say hello dear or something?
no, but they were very sweet, but it was supposed to be from Community Preservation, CPC, but it was some lady who thought my profile online was really nice and she can't wait to meet me, so.
We
You
all-
got that
I'm sitting here at 9:30.
one? Yeah.
Well, you just ruined it for Tom. He was so excited.
Yeah.
We gotta get this meeting going.
I got 4 of them.
So I did send it to Matt. Matt, I think we still have a problem, so
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
You know, what's happened if any of you, if anybody that's on a board or committee still has the default password,
I was guilty.
yeah, it's going to, it's still gotten into a few of the other ones, so I think you guys as well, basically what's going to happen is everyone's passwords are going to be reset, and you'll have to, if you can't access it and you can't reset it, you'll have to contact Matt, so.
Yeah. Well, he reset mine because evidently I was a very bad girl, I guess. I
You
don't know.
didn't change it?
No,
Oh.
well, I was sending stuff to everybody. I was inviting everybody to Spain, I guess, or some such
Yeah.
thing, was I? Yeah.
You sent me 7,229 emails.
Did I? I was a busy girl.
You could be part of a Nigerian
So-
fortune.
Yeah.
Just send $500.
But unfortunately, it was like I also lost back information because Matt literally had to wipe my entire everything out.
Ugh.
So I've lost some contact stuff backwards, but, yeah, I'll have to retrace that.
We've, you'll probably notice too, we've had some issues with the email across the board. Not just that, but being up and down. The company we use is actually essentially stopping what they do in roughly a year.
Oh,
And in the meantime, their service has gone downhill, which is most likely a push towards go somewhere else.
yes.
Where maybe you had an issue with an email once a week, twice a week, it's daily and several times a day. So we're trying to fix that, and now we're moving on to look at some of the other email providers. However, unfortunately, you're looking at about a increase that could be about $20, $30, $40,000. Whereas the school departments, because they're educational, can receive discounted services from Google to free as well for some of them. We don't qualify as a municipality.
But we have to have it. I mean, that's.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
we've talked to Matt, and we've ramped up our time because we can't operate the way we are now. We're a business, and email is an integral part,
Yeah.
so.
Definitely. All right, so, at some point, I guess we'll get, the message from the school committee as to what that number is. And what, do you have anything else for us?
Just an update, I'd gone over it last night. If you remember, we had, at town meeting, pulled out about 103,000 for LED light upgrades to buildings, as you can
Right.
see in here. Altogether, there had been, the cost of the project had been about, I think, $285,000. No, it was over that. It was closer to 350. I'm sorry, the sad thing is the email's down again for me, and I can't access it. But long story short, we had incentives of over triple what we spent, and our cost total was 74,000. So, yeah.
Is that a 1.5 year payback? Is that?
Yeah, actually, it was looking a little closer at the end of the day, because I double checked after selectmen's meetings. I think it's 747,000 kilowatt hour savings annually, which is really, I mean, that's essentially exceptional. If our expenditures were 74,000, and you look at, I think our kilowatt hours could be 12 to 14 cents. You're making it back right there. So it's really worked out well. We have the ability now to move on some of the other buildings, including the Hammond School. Hammond School for me is a priority because we have a lease with the Boys and Girls Club, and that lease includes electricity and heat to them. So anything we can do to lower our costs in there would be well worth it. We also we're working with them to, instead of what we did separately, the 50,000 for the street lights, is working with the same company to try and have them, instead of just fixing, upgrade our street lights into LED as well. So we're looking to get some of the bids and quotes on that. The interesting thing is, because with these LED programs, and it's through NSTAR, in a way they're sole source, so you're able to not have to go through a lengthy procurement process as well, so. And Tom will be happy about that.
Yeah. Definitely.
So besides that, we're really going into sort of the crunch time for the budgets and the numbers to get the first pass at it. As you know, it's the first budget is supposed to be a balanced budget as well. Most likely, in looking at it, I think you're supposed to have the previous year, the current, and the next year.
Mhm.
I think I most likely will add another column, which would be next year balanced, next year requested, so that we can see what it would look
Yeah.
like.
That's good.
Yeah.
You mean as far, you mean in the actual warrant, or was it working?
No, just in the working, because if you remember, the first one is essentially
Yeah.
the working,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and the versions that go through there are, I think you start having version
I start dating
12B
them
on there.
quickly,
Yeah.
So,
But that's a help then, because I think that if we have that as to kind of what you think is the balanced one
Yeah.
versus what people have asked, then that helps us.
I think it does help, so everybody can see what's actually been asked. And that's one of the biggest things, I think, from the all-day budget hearing from the town side as well. And the school committee is going to be announcing their dates as well. They have an all-day budget hearing, so if anybody can attend that, it's lengthy, but it's informative.
The school committee,
Yes,
when is that?
I don't have the date, but when we get, Kelly, when I get that, if I can.
Can we get an email on that when it comes out?
Yeah.
They did something, on the 25th, was it, or? I didn't attend, I don't know if anybody else did, but I never actually got an email invitation for their preliminary hearing, by the way.
Yeah, that was between, what that one realistically was to the some of the principals and stuff speaking
Okay.
to the school committee. And I attended for half the day, and selectmen were there as well. So but they have a separate one where they actually put forth their whole budget. These were almost, if you will, if you're comfortable, to the departments coming forward and saying to the school committee and superintendent, this is why we need what we're asking for.
That's what they always do every
Yeah.
year.
We've done that before,
Yeah,
too.
we have.
And I don't mind attending that, because it's really a presentation. But we've done it before, with the three boards across the front of the aisle, okay, across the front of the stage, and then we take questions afterwards. And it's really, really uncomfortable for me particularly, because we can't really answer a lot of questions, because we're seeing, most of us are seeing the school budget for the first time at that point. So it's not we're not really, I don't think we can answer a lot of questions that are brought forward at that. So I'm not really sure that we actually need to be on that stage at all. I mean, it's really a matter of, I mean, we need to be present, obviously, but it's really for the school committee to present their budget, and then the citizens, the parents, to ask the questions that they need to ask. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but.
Well, it's too bad that none of us went to the preliminary, because it's always very insightful. That's very, very helpful, because you know exactly why they need, and you're getting a lot of additional information. I've always found them. But going blindsided to the meeting, I can't see where we'd be any help at all. If none of us have gone to this.
I went to it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Was it good, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's terrific. They put in a lot of work.
Tom, do you have any of the handouts, Tom?
Pardon me?
Do you have any of the handouts at all that they had?
Yeah, it's about like that. I've distilled it down to these things are I thought were the most important, but I guess it's a preliminary.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to 3 levels, you know, sort of good, better, best, and good was level.
Okay.
Level. But the attendance is going down. The amount of students that are going elsewhere are going up. It's, and a lot of the buildings are, particularly Deacon's School is at the maximum, and also 50 years old. And with 4 20-year-old temporary classrooms. So they're doing, they've got a tough row to hoe. And yet their morale seemed good, and some of their plans are ambitious and sound very solid. Seemed to be that the combining of all of the first grade, second grade through the 4th grade plans worked out well with the move between Minot and Deacon's School. Everybody seemed to be positive about that.
You know what I find interesting about, Madam Chairman, is about the buildings, is if you've ever had the opportunity to go to Upper Cape, which opened, I believe, in 1968. I know my brothers were the first there. Building looks as good today as it did the day it was opened, even better, because they maintain their buildings and they keep, you know. So I wish we could get that into our buildings here. I mean, we've done a lot with what we have, but we can't keep saying, well, we need to build a new school, we need to build a new school. We have to maintain the buildings we have. Add on if possible.
True.
One of the things, if you don't mind my interrupting,
That's
Madam
okay.
Chair, and I said it, I think Tom was there when I said it, we talked to them. They had several items for school security and such from all their different school buildings. And it is gonna go to a future policy, but I said, why don't you really get them all onto the same systems, upgrade them, bring them up to the Alice levels, and we can borrow for that. That is a capital item. You can borrow, get that done for this, instead of just piecemealing it and putting it within your budget. That's what doesn't make sense to me. If you're budgeting for some of these capital items, which really should be one large item, and I think at some point, if you're seeing the budgets from year in, year out, you know that our principal and interest payments are going down, and we're not borrowing to keep up with it, because we're taking what you might call savings, but it's lack of spending really is what it is, and we're putting it into the other operating lines, which I really think we should maintain. This is a minimum, it should be double, is at least $1 million a year worth of payments for principal and interest where we're borrowing, so we're doing the upgrades and we're keeping things moving that way. So we're keeping up with capital items, because part of it is maintenance, but part of it is replacing items when you can.
No,
So
I agree with you.
It's just smart money. Any other comments at this point?
And I did tell them, I'm sorry, that they should probably take me up on it, 'cause it's pretty rare when I say to spend money.
We've got it on tape.
Duly
Yeah, I
noted.
know.
Get it while you have the chance. Okay, now we do have this lovely blue book that we just received.
I've got it saved down there. So everybody, they should have been in the packets for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this is the first one we've
Okay.
actually gotten them or received them, so we're not gonna review them at this
No.
meeting, obviously.
It's been, it's been interesting, because if I remember last year, while the override proposal was going on, it was the audit essentially that many of the proponents of the override used as an issue as why they wouldn't go forward to it. Yet we announced back in mid-December that we've had the audit, we've put it on the town's website, and it hasn't been covered by anybody, including the media. We went over it last night and we spoke about it, and it still hasn't been brought forward. So I'm frankly, it was the Bible last year, and now it's, I don't know what it is. So it's just an interesting sidebar.
Okay. Well, obviously, people need time to read it, review it, and prepare questions or whatever that they might have. And maybe we'll do that if we have another meeting between now and the all-day session. We can put that together. We don't need a formal presentation of this at this point, do we? We've done it before, but.
No,
I guess that after you looked at it, are we still seeing the same material weaknesses? Are they still coming up? We're not,
you'll see, we've actually, in these, we've put management responses. Last year, I think we had
Yeah.
a separate letter, but the management responses are within the document as well. There's some items that are still going. We have automation of compensated absences, which we tried to work with our payroll company, and they were unable to do it. One of the issues is we have union members that have received their days on their anniversary, some that receive them on the first of the year. There's the tracking of it, which is still manual, which is a nightmare. It's labor intensive.
But at least you track it.
Yeah.
There was a time when they weren't tracking it.
Right.
They
So
just
we're
made it up.
one of the big things is the health trust fund and moving into the Mayflower group to satisfy our auditors. We're going to require, and this is something we need to do anyways, is at the end of the year, well, before that really, have an audit of the health trust fund to make sure that with the run out and such, there's at least enough funds in there to cover the portions of what the employees should have. It looks favorable right now, but obviously you always want to have an auditor to back up your numbers.
When you say that the payroll company couldn't put it together for us, do they have a system that we can't use and we're trying to make them do something to match what we currently do, or do they just have no system? Seems to me the payroll company ought to have something like that.
They have a system which couldn't function with ours apparently. To be blunt, we called them up and you got the sales rep who said no problem. And then when you got to the actual
The guy who does it.
implementation, they said, what did they promise you? No way. We asked our auditors for some of the other communities where they really have something that's working well and something that we can use. And we've been unable to get an answer as to what's a good community or such. So this seems to be an issue. Probably the easiest way to do it is to change it where people don't have, where there's not different anniversary dates, there's nothing different if you've been there for 10 years or 15 years and such, but that's going to take a period of time of negotiations and such. In the meanwhile, we're going to try and bring in an intern and see if we can't use our own spreadsheets, but the goal really was to have it done, be printed on everybody's paycheck. They see what they have, they're tracking it. You're not getting the call up, hey, I've got 14 days left, why didn't you tell me? And it's right, they should be shown, they should have some way to see it, so.
I
Yeah.
mean, businesses do that all the time, so it seems
know.
like it's not rocket science.
Well, that's why we don't have an actual personnel department. Way back when we got rid of that, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
You buy those contracts, so. No,
So-
it's usually people get in trouble when they insist on doing it the way that they've always done it and refuse to change to a way that somebody else has already got programmed, which is a heck of a lot cheaper if you just follow on with whatever your software provider already has.
Yeah, it would have, you know, especially, it would have been much easier because we've got between the police department and all the police union, we've got the steelworkers, clerical, we have 11 different unions altogether, which have 11 different variances on there,
Wow.
so.
Continuity going.
Kelly's probably lost a day or two because we haven't told her.
Kelly knows.
She laughs,
Yeah,
but
no.
she's not happy.
All right, do you have anything else for us?
No, I would ask that you read through the audit, the management letter. You know, there's still some items that you'll see the responses that we're working on. We have picked up a software as well for $3,500 for the fixed asset reporting, which by doing that, we should have alleviated that concern for the FY15 audit. You'll see some of our responses. We'll be posting for an assistant town accountant this month. And I think while we will always, with the level of staffing we can provide, we'll always have a working town accountant. This at least gives that person the opportunity to concentrate on other such items that need to be done to really follow what the management letter. You know, we talked about last night, and it was a nice moment, but it's really from the staffing that we have available for what they've turned around the last 5 years. I appreciate all their hard work. So.
Are we gonna get a town planner? Do you know if that's coming in? Or is
Right.
that something,
Right now, we haven't posted for that. We're really looking how to operate those departments. Right now, we're down to essentially 1.5 people in there, and I think they're going nuts, so.
well, at least they're there all the time, though.
Yeah, that's,
They are. And it's a face that you can talk to and relate to, which is good.
we like her.
Any other questions for the town administrator? I'm gonna stick around for a minute. We're just gonna go over what we're looking at for a schedule leading up to the warrant. This is official?
Yeah, there was we have to change the date down there, so that's a corrected copy, that's official.
Okay.
Everything's official.
This is official?
It's official for
Okay.
now.
For now.
What's the corrected one?
Yes, the corrected one.
One that says corrected 1/7?
It says 1/7.
That's the,
That one.
that's
That
the
says
official,
corrected.
official one.
Did you get the 1/7 at noon or at 1 PM?
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't know, it might have got caught in my email somewhere.
I just wanna know which one we're using, that's all.
Yeah, well,
Everything you have is correct.
yeah.
Yep.
This is you,
There's a special.
this is, oh, that's right, this
Yep.
is special.
Annual.
See, yeah, but see, this is, oh, special, there's
Yes,
the
the
word
extra
special.
credit.
That's what
Oh.
I needed, this is the special one, okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, so yesterday,
That was confusing.
Yeah.
What I did do is I
Always
put
is
all
for
the
everybody.
special, town meeting dates into that big document there.
this big document here.
Yes.
Oh,
Of all the
lovely.
dates, so I added that.
Cool, she's very clever, this girl.
Uh-huh.
And it does look like we got a little more time this year to
Mhm.
finish up what we're doing. Now, your budget has to be done on a Sunday, really? Does that mean you actually work on the Sunday?
24/7.
I just thought that was,
At least that's, sometimes you get those calls in the,
yeah,
at 2, 3 in the morning, you do say, yeah, it does seem like that, right?
yeah, it's due on a Sunday. So, we are looking at getting the annual by the February the 18th. Now, that does not leave you a lot of time to actually finalize this. Even though we know those budget numbers weave and move right up to the printing of the warrant, or the printing of whatever. See, that gets confusing, because technically, if it's closed, if the warrant is closed, we end up with this situation all the time, looking at Madam Moderator back there. What gets printed in the paper is the warrant. So we've gotten to this in the past where that budget number gets printed in the paper, but then it changes by the time it gets printed in the FinCom's handbook.
We usually don't print a budget number in the
No.
warrant.
In the newspaper?
In
No.
the-
There's no budget number in the newspaper?
No,
No,
Really?
no.
Okay. I'm making sure.
because when you put it in the warrant, you really aren't allowed to change.
You change it, okay, all right, just make sure we're clarifying that part. But once we've got it in the handbook, that's what we're sticking with, correct?
No.
No.
Well, yeah, all right, okay,
Yeah.
yep. All right, so,
The 27th at 6 PM.
When we actually vote on it at town meeting, that's what we're sticking with.
well, yeah, well.
Until
whatever
the
our
October town meeting, if you change it then.
Change it then.
The cafeteria meeting?
I'm looking at timing as far as, we will receive the actual warrant on the 18th, by the 18th, on the 18th. So if we're gonna get our all-day budget hearing in between then and now, I mean, I can't see you sticking to that number by February 18th.
Right, our all-day budget hearing is usually from the departments presenting their budgets.
Yep.
There's usually what they've requested, and then there's essentially what I'll go through and cut out and such, so. It's usually, oh geez, which one, was it Article 6, I think?
Yeah, usually it is
Yeah,
number 6.
Article 6
Mhm.
is the budget, and you'll notice that we don't put a number in there whatsoever. Even for like 8 and 10 for the sewer article, and the EMS as well. And we really don't even get a finalized number for Upper Cape Cod Tech till later on, so.
Absolutely.
We have been informed that there's 12 new students from Wareham to Upper Cape Cod Tech, so we do know we'll have, if we figure it's been almost an annual 2% increase on top of the 12,000, we were looking at probably over $200,000 increase for them as well.
Hopefully Donna can help us out there, huh?
Dominic's working on it. He's learning, down there. All right, so between the 18th and the 8th, that's our deadline, right? April the 8th, between the 18th of February and April the 8th, that's the time we have to change or work on this, on the final numbers, along with everything
So we should,
else that's gonna be presented.
is it fair to say we'll be working most every week?
Yes. We're probably, once we get the warrant on the 18th, I would expect us to be here every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
exactly.
See,
So February 18th through what date?
Through April the 8th.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So starting the 18th all the way through to the 8th, just.
Pretty much.
Until book it,
yeah,
Yes.
plan on it, for sure.
yeah.
Chairman, I have a question.
Go ahead.
If you are, you'll have submit the proposed budget on January 25th. If we come in on January 28th, is it possible for us to have copies of what you?
Yeah, I didn't know if I want to push him real quick.
I mean, I know you're gonna have it done before the 25th. I know you'll have it done by the 23rd.
23rd?
Yeah, that's the Friday.
24th, I'm locked in my basement, you don't wanna hear what's coming out of that door.
Yeah, I was even
question
looking at,
When we have a quality,
well, the thing is that Kelly has to get the books together
Oh,
and everything.
That's right.
Yeah, I was looking at maybe, because he was talking about with the all-day session, maybe by the Wednesday, the 4th, if we did a meeting February 4th. Do you think we would have the books ready by that point? And then, I mean, we could even work on that Thursday or the following Thursday with the department heads.
Well, if we have the all-day session with the school committee and the board of selectmen, is that the one you're talking about?
That's not even posted yet.
Okay, 'cause
That's up to
it
them.
says, okay.
when do you think that likely would be?
I have no idea. That's up their discretion, and it's usually,
What do they usually
Late
do?
February, early March.
yeah.
Usually when?
Late February, early March, which I
Okay,
prefer early
so we're
March.
already working on stuff.
We had St. Patrick's Day
Yeah.
one year.
St. Patrick's Day.
Later
Oh,
on.
that's-
It was the St. Patrick's Day massacre.
Yeah. Was not a good night, as I recall.
So if we plan on the Wednesday, the 4th, do you think with those books, we'd have the books ready by then?
Yes, we should be able to have them
You're
ready
gonna
by then.
try, just try, right?
We oughta, yeah.
Yeah, that's, the passive language of try always sounds bad, so let's say the yes on there, that's our goal.
Okay.
All right.
You will have emerged from the basement. We'll have something.
Okay. All right, so we'll definitely plan on that.
No, but that'll give them at least 2 weeks to read.
Kelly, if you need somebody for a couple hours to help you copy, give me a ring.
I think Kelly's gonna need a couple people for a couple hours.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, I'd volunteer you for a couple of.
Let's say it's been other departments and stuff too.
Okay, do you have anything else for the, anybody else have anything else for the town administrator at this point?
I do.
Go ahead.
As usual. The nomination papers for sewer commissioners, when can we pick those up?
I don't know, I think it's the first day that they're available, I thought was the, what's it, yeah, January 12th, yeah.
So that's Monday.
That's political stuff, I'm apolitical.
Just to check.
That's gonna be a major election.
January 12th, okay.
Anyone else want to bother the town administrator? Can we say a collective congratulations?
Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Charter, when's the last day it was amended, last year? Is there a 2014 revision?
For the charter?
Or is the last one 2010?
That's a good question, I don't know, we'd have to talk to the town clerk on that one, when the final information was all put in there. There have been some amendments and such, so,
The last one on the website is 2010,
well,
but I've seen a 2014 floating around, which I think may have some of the sewer commissioner language, not just that they are gonna.
online,
become-
there's one with there's the sewer commissioner languages in there.
That's the 2010, it's saying
Yeah.
not being, and if they come back, but
Yeah.
then there's a 2014 floating around somewhere. But I haven't been able to get it online.
Did it say the date was on the cover sheet was 2014?
David had it,
Oh,
yeah, 2014.
I don't know.
Well, if we go down to town hall, we can ask them that, maybe.
They're good
Dave,
folks there.
you're waiting.
Oh.
Check it out.
Go ahead, Tom.
Did you get the capital plan on the 25th of December?
Yeah, we've received a capital plan.
Can we see that in advance of anything?
Sure.
Is it online?
No. Yeah, we can get it out to the FinCom.
You wanna try emailing?
Yeah.
Can we,
That
Yeah.
is their recommendations, it isn't necessarily your choices, is that correct?
It's a wish list.
No, it's not even the recommendations, it's just a list.
It's just a list of what,
It's just a
what
working- it
what they
really
feel
is
is
just a
needed.
There's a
working
lot
list.
of wish and hope, and it isn't based on any
It's just a wish list.
limit.
It's built on,
It's, every item's given a category from the department and such, but it's,
but you
It's
haven't
just-
gone through it with them and
it was gone through beforehand, going to it and such, we know we have certain priorities. But at the end of the day, it's whatever we're going to bring forth is usually from is the town administrator. And unless we're increasing the line to the borrowing line for the budget, you wouldn't do anything until October, when you have free cash, so.
exactly.
It would just be interesting to see what's on that list.
Yeah,
We've just-
absolutely.
is it much
With
different than?
two aspirin in this list, that's what we're doing.
Probably the same
It's,
with
you have
more.
one in preparation for October, which you whittled down by the time we get to the meeting, but
Right.
it's pretty much the same thing. It looked
You-
like it was all
Most
laid
of,
out by year.
yeah, most of the stuff gets moved on to the next year, some of
Yeah.
the priorities change, whatever's been, you also have the list of what's been funded but not completed, and what has been completed has been taken off of there, so there's usually nothing, I shouldn't say nothing, there's not that much that changed, although there's a lot of work that goes through it. Some of the department heads changed their philosophies. You have new people in there that have other items that they want to bring forth, so that could be interesting.
Plus you add another year to that
Right.
multi-year plan.
Speaking of capital, just out of curiosity, because I haven't heard anything, what's the status with, the dam, the grants and that borrowing how's that moving forward?
No, we have to sign for the grant and such. We're still working on the legal aspect of it.
Okay.
so.
Can you keep us updated as far as,
Yeah.
what progress is? If there's any glitches along the way?
For any damn glitches?
Any damn glitches?
The damn dam.
Or great discoveries, like we find out we don't own it and somebody else's responsibility?
We were hoping that a wall of just,
Water? No.
of gold has been pushed against there, but no, that's
No.
only in Alaska apparently.
Okay, well, we just,
But the coalition is helping us out on Horseshoe Pond, fixing that dam, as I understand it.
They own the dam,
This dam, yeah.
so, well, it's a nice project. We'll let more fish through and such.
that's good.
You get $365,000 grant, that's a good thing.
And I'm gonna ask you one other question as I'm looking at scheduling. If we're gonna meet on the 4th, and we'd like to meet in between to review the audit, would you like to meet in 2 weeks, which would be the 21st? It's right in the middle of your deadline. Or would you rather meet on the 28th after you're done? Or in 1 week, if it's 1 week, is everybody have time to read it and review it in 1 week? I'm gonna leave that up to you.
On the 14th, I'm going to be out. I'm
Okay.
going to be working I'm actually going to be working from another location. That's one of the shut the door days, and
Okay,
don't let anybody near you because you're working on the budget stuff to try and get ready.
okay.
So I think the 21st would be the best one for.
Okay, so the 21st, we will meet for specifically just to review the audit. Probably be just that one item.
And the management letter?
That's it, that's what I mean, that whole thing. So everybody's got a couple of weeks to read it and get your questions together.
The other ones, the previous years are available online as well, if you
Yeah,
wanna
if you
delve
don't
back.
already have them, they are
Yeah,
available.
Right.
so.
Okay, so we'll schedule our next meeting to be on the 21st to just go over the budget.
Audit.
The audit, I'm sorry, the budget, the audit report and the management letter, and then, that will be the only item on the agenda. Is that kosher with everybody?
Sounds good.
Okay,
Do you want to put, just in case anything else on there, if there's any questions from the monthly?
Sure.
I mean, there really
okay,
hasn't changed really since the last one. Everybody that's supposed to be in line is
okay.
in line.
Oh, if those, all right, if you have
Yeah.
those, okay. So that'll be 2 items on the agenda then. All right,
Are we getting current financials?
that's what he was just
That's what you-
talking about,
Okay.
getting the update.
You have the November on there. It should-
November.
we're-
Should have December then.
right.
All right. I think we're all set with that.
Yeah, that's our next meeting date, right, Melanie?
Yeah, so that will be our, I know I jumped forward on that, but I wanted to make sure I got input from the town administrator. We're good with you? Do you have anything else with us? No?
I'm just regretting I don't have a remote car starter.
Oh. I regret that all the time. Any other liaison reports? Nothing? Any other business? I need approval of the meeting minutes of December the 10th, 2014. Everybody read those?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain,
Opposed?
I was not here.
An abstain.
Abstain.
2 abstain. That's right, you were sick.
Still
Right. I'm sorry. All right, and we do have our next meeting date, so I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Okay, we're done.